Welcome to podcast today. Thanks,
Whoa,
very
whoa,
special
whoa,
guest, joined by
whoa.
Caleb. Thanks for coming on my show, mate.
Hey, I'm the host here. I'm the host here. Finally, we're back after almost 2 years since the first Tennis for Millennials podcast. I'm excited to be joined by my good friend, Lewis Catto. How are you, pal?
Hey, Caleb, mate. Thanks for having me on. 2 years doesn't feel like 2 years, does it?
No, it doesn't. To be fair, 2020 just disappeared, just into
It
thin air.
did.
Yeah.
Longest year, but it's gone very quickly, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's to be fair. All right.
So, what's the plan?
Plan is to discuss initially today's result. I'm not sure if you've seen.
Yeah.
Djokovic is won his 9th title, Australian Open title, that is. And I think that puts him on 18 Grand Slams now, 2 behind Nadal. What do you make of that?
Mate, I don't know. He's an absolute machine, Djokovic, isn't he? He's an absolute powerhouse. And I can't remember what round it was, but it might have been the second or the third round. He went down injured a bit, didn't he? And he had to receive some treatment on court. And he only ended up winning that match on the 5th set. I thought his tournament was over. I thought he'd at least pull out after he'd won. But the fact that he's got over that, powered through, I don't know if it's a testament to his character, isn't it?
Pretty much, it's literally once he gets to the semi-finals of the Australian Open, he's going to win that semi-final and he'll go on to win the final. Honestly, I was disappointed because I wanted Medvedev to win, but
yeah, you wanted an upset.
Yeah, I wanted an upset. I was desperate for an upset. But it's what it is, you know. You move. Did you see the Naomi Osaka final as well against Jennifer Brady, I think?
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty convincing win in the end, wasn't it, for Naomi? I think is it the second time she's won the Australian Open?
Yeah, the last time was in 2019. I think the first podcast we must have mentioned it. I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah. I think the first time we recorded, she was just up and coming, and we were just initially chatting about her. And I remember we chatted about how she changed coach. I'm not sure if you remember. That might have been right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's won 2 US Opens. She's won 2 Australian Opens now. She beat Serena, which in some sense felt like the final in the semis, and then she powered through Brady. So she's just going from strength to strength, really. I think. What do you reckon? Could this be a dominant year for her?
Yeah, I think so. I think she'll go on to replicate the things that Serena Williams has done. Honestly, she just. I was saying this to myself the other day. The way when I was watching them both play, Naomi Osaka is almost silent when she plays, and that reminds me of Federer. And the way they're both so elegant when they do it so quietly, I think she could do similar things and achieve similar heights, in my opinion.
She's a very interesting character, isn't she, Naomi Osaka? She doesn't give anything away emotionally, I think.
Written about her, I think.
Sorry?
Softly spoken, I've seen written about
her. Yeah, and she's very composed, you know. And there was some nonsense with her, like signing the camera. Did you see that?
No, what happened?
She tried to draw a little animal or something on one of the cameras with her marker, and I don't know. It shows that she's got that side of her as well to be a bit of a crowd pleaser as well. So yeah, I mean, fair play to her.
Yeah, I rate her a lot. It's weird because her and Djokovic are so like dominant right now. They both just keep winning, but it's weird how for me, I can take it when she wins. But I just can't take it when Djokovic wins all the time. It gets on my nerves. I don't know why.
Do you know what? The other day, my friends and me were having turned into quite heated discussion about why Djokovic isn't they were arguing Djokovic isn't a very likable person in tennis. Is it because he's so dominant? Is it because he doesn't have the backing Federer does? Is it because... You know, and I don't know, it's interesting, but I was very much on the pro Djokovic side. I think I admire how he's just a machine. But I think something about him, people don't like to see him dominating in the same way people like to see Federer dominating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. To be honest, he hasn't helped himself a lot in certain scenarios. I'm not sure if you saw last year, he tried when he set up that tournament and then in the midst of COVID-19 and stuff, things like that annoy people, I think, with Djokovic.
Yeah.
But you can't deny that he's just an incredible athlete, I think, to be fair to him. It's hard to put a case against him because he keeps winning. He just keeps winning. But yeah, if there's not really much we can discuss on these things, except that there were fans allowed in the stadiums, weren't they, in Australia? They're pretty much done with COVID, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, was it? It wasn't full capacity, was it?
Nah, that would be.
But they did have fans in, and yeah, I mean, it just gives the players something to play for, doesn't it? It gives them a bit of fun to have, and I don't know. I imagine, yeah, it must be nice. But I guess when they're coming to France and Wimbledon for their next Grand Slams, it will be interesting to see if there is going to be any fans there or not. But it's always good to see fans back in sport. I think we're desperate for it to happen, aren't we?
Yeah, very much so. I'm pretty sure there would be by Wimbledon. I think maybe not the French, maybe Wimbledon should be back to normal.
I think Wimbledon didn't even happen last year. I still find that a bit crazy when I think about that.
No, who was it? Djokovic won in 2019, so he's held it for. He would have held it for 2 years then, no?
Yeah, I tell you what will be interesting. We talk about Djokovic and Naomi Osaka and how they're both dominating in their respective fields. Well, I think the big challenge this year for Naomi is when she comes to Europe, is when she comes to the French Open, when she comes to Wimbledon, because I'm not sure the exact statistic, but I'm pretty sure she hasn't got past the first couple of rounds for Wimbledon before. I don't think she's made it past round 2 or round 3. So previously struggled on the grass. I remember she was really gutted to get. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say it might be something about the surfaces, the clay and the surfaces that might be affecting her. But we'll wait and see. Still, I think we all know how difficult it is to become a footballer. We know that as football fans. You can spend most of your youth in the academies, in the top Premier League clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, but then you end up getting released, and then you're playing in the National League or lower sometimes. And I always said that when I have a kid, I want to train him as a tennis player. You know, get money and all that. It'd be nice. But then I came across this video by Colt Tennis. I think I sent you the link. I'm not sure if you watched it. Talking about Abraham Asaba. He's ranked like 1,700th in the world, but he's a professional. And they just went through all the numbers and the figures that he has to spend just to, get enough points to be included in these tournaments. And when I saw that, I was like, it's a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah, the money is concentrated at the top, isn't it, of tennis? There's a heck of a lot of money in tennis, but it floats around right at the top, and it's the fact that there is so much at the top is what draws so many people in. But like you say, it's a tough grind down at the bottom, isn't it? I mean, I did manage to watch the video you sent, and they go into all kinds of details, don't they, about the different costs you need to travel to tournaments and things.
I wrote down the expenses from there. I think just to go to one tournament, it would cost Abraham Asaba $700 in flights, $239 for food. Obviously, I think that can vary, but $429 for the hotel, and then just a $40 entry fee, and that totaled at $1,408 in total, just for one tournament. And you could get knocked out in the first round of that tournament and
get no money.
Yeah. So you're just losing money essentially.
Tough.
And then, when I think of that, I think of my thoughts, having a kid and then training them to be a tennis player. I don't know. I start to have second thoughts now. It's expensive.
It sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Like get your kids some lessons, train them up, get to some tournaments. But actually, when especially when they're living on their own, and you know they maybe don't have fixed income. It's incredibly difficult to fund traveling to tournament with all the expenses. And even I think that statistic you had there, that's without a coach, isn't it? So if you want to get a coach as well, which ideally you probably need if you want to make it, then it's going to just add even more and more. And I think a coach was what, saying $500 a day or something like that,
without travel expenses.
Yeah.
As well.
So yeah. I mean, it's huge risk to take in a big deficit, like you say. If you don't even manage to make it past the first round, or even if you do and get to the first couple of rounds, you're still nowhere near breaking even.
Exactly. But then it does make you think as well, like, to be a footballer, often you see, I think I read somewhere, Heung-min Son was trained by his dad, like, relentlessly and stuff, and then that's how he essentially became good. And to train a kid, I think it's a lot less expensive. Training him at football, a lot less expensive than it is at tennis, according to this video anyway. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, I guess the way a lot of kids start playing football and developing a skill is through just playing with mates, kicking a ball with your dad, going to the park. No one can stop you doing that. But when you think about tennis, really, if you want to improve your game, you can't just go and hit a ball against the wall. You can't improve in that same way. You have to get some sort of coaching, some sort of input. And if your dad isn't a tennis coach, then you're going to have to pay for it. So it's going to cost money. It's going to cost money for the court space, for the rackets, for the balls, for the lessons. It's going to set you back. So I think it's less accessible for kids to come and just pick up tennis. You know, there are more boxes to tick. There are more prices to pay. So yeah, I think it's a fair point.
All right. Obviously, you graduated. That must be nice. And you told me you've been working with Christians in sport over the past year. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, about Christians in sport. Yeah, so the initial plan was to go straight into sports marketing. That was so I'm at the same university as Caleb, and I studied football business and marketing. So the plan was to go into something like that, but I really messed up this interview. I had to do a pitch in front of 4 sort of like department heads, and this was the 4th round of the interview process. So I was kind of fancying my chances at this point. There was 3 people left, 1 job. And I completely bottled it, completely messed it up. And then I was gutted that day. But the next day I met this guy at this quiz, and he worked at Christians in Sport, and he just told me about what it is they do. And as soon as I kind of met this guy, I thought, do you know what, that's how I want to spend next year. And Christians in Sport basically are an organisation that exists to reach the world of sport with the good news of Jesus Christ. That's the vision, that's the mission, and that comes right from elite sport through to county level sport, through to kids sport and kids camps, through to student and university, and there are loads of different ways in which that vision can kind of be fulfilled. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last few months. It's a lot of training this year as well. Being trained to give talks, being trained in ministry, and then working with students as well, doing one-to-ones with them, reading the Bible with them, encouraging them to live out their faith in their sport. So that's kind of been what my year's looking like so far, and serving a little bit with the church as well, which has been really fun.
Is it a local church? You said you're in Oxford. Are you still in Oxford, or is it?
Yeah, just outside of Oxford. So Christians in Sport is based in Bicester. I'm not sure if you've heard of Bicester before.
I thought it was in Oxford. On a website, I thought it was in Oxford, but
yeah, it's just outside Oxford. And then I live with 9 other interns.
9.
So yeah. So it's quite big. Sorry.
Many bathrooms.
2 showers.
Okay.
So 3 bathrooms. 2 of the bathrooms have showers. But yeah, and I've got a roommate as well, so I share a room. So it's been it's been an interesting year, but it's been a really good year so far.
Right, I rate it, man. I rate it because what you've said is quite similar to what I was doing on my dissertation. I had to find footballers, or semi-professional footballers, to interview about how they share their faith online, essentially. I got in contact with I'm not sure if you've heard of a page on Instagram called Ballers in God.
I've heard of that before, I think, actually. Is that on Instagram?
Yeah. Yes, I know having like an associate that I know pretty well, and he sort of put the word out, and I got 2 interviews, I think, and they're actually the nicest guys. I don't think I can give the details of who it was because of ethics and stuff, but
no worries.
Yeah, nice.
Nice, man.
Not sure if you probably haven't heard of this game because I saw it off a video called Wales Golf Madrid in that order. Obviously, being a Welshman, I have to play this game, and it's basically a ranking game where I name 3 things, and then you rank them in whatever order you see fit. So I'm gonna start off with the World Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League.
The World Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League. So just what I think is best to what?
Yeah, this second last.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's such a hard question. That's such a hard question. Because, do you know what? I'm going to put, now this is controversial, but I'm going to put World Cup at the bottom. And this is only because, so I was born in Scotland and my family are Scottish. And everyone that I know is in my family, they're all Scottish. But I grew up in England since I was 2. So I'm kind of at an identity split with, I've never really known what football team to support. And I've always leaned towards supporting Scotland, but they've never been in the World Cup since I've been alive. So I've never kind of experienced the magic of the World Cup. So from personal experience, I have to put that bottom. I know that's controversial. Second, I'd say, do you know what? I put Champions League second and Premier League top. Wow. I think, especially right now, I think the Premier League is the best league in the world, without a doubt. I know this might be hard for you to hear, Caleb, as a Barca fan, but I think leagues like Madrid, leagues like the La Liga, and they're in a bit of decline, and even Serie A, and I think Premier League is where players want to be. We're seeing all kinds of players move over, and it's exciting to support United during this time. I put Premier League top, and maybe the fact we've won it 20 times might have something to do with that decision. I don't know.
I don't even know what order I'd pick, to be honest.
That's a hard question, mate. You haven't messed about there.
Ooh, I can't choose. I probably wouldn't pick Premier League top though. It'd have to be between World Cup and Champions League, I think.
Yeah.
I'd have to do it. Next one is out of Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and Sir Alex Ferguson. Rank them.
Well, you can say, United fan, of course, he's going to pick Sir Alex, but Sir Alex is top, I think. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. I
would put him top as well, to be honest.
I think the fact that he won the team that he won the league with in 2013 in his last year, I genuinely don't think any other manager in the world could do that. I think that is one of a kind. So I put him top. I'd put, it's hard because Guardiola plays better football, but Mourinho has delivered more upsets and more impressive results in his time with worse teams than Guardiola has. I'd like to see Guardiola, I know a lot of people say this, but I'd like to see Guardiola take on a challenge, not to take on a team that are flying when he arrives, or at least have a good squad. But I will put Guardiola second, because I think when he was at Barca, his team was playing ridiculous football, and he's done bits with Man City as well. And Mourinho is having a very bad time right now. So, yeah, Ferguson, Guardiola, Mourinho.
I'd agree with you on Ferguson, Guardiola, it's weird as a Barca fan because obviously he did so much for us. But then when he left and then we got beat 7-0 by Bayern Munich, that hurt so much. And then when you see your club legend manager go to Bayern Munich, for me, since then I don't think I've forgiven him for doing that.
Oh, mate. So there's the emotional.
Yeah.
The emotional pain.
Every time City play, I don't really want City to win. I don't want him to do well. I'd rather Mourinho do well, which is controversial even for Barca fans. Have you seen the movie Take the Ball, Pass the Ball?
I still haven't seen it. I mean, I've meant to watch it, but I haven't.
Yeah, Barca fans don't really like Mourinho pretty much, but I like Mourinho.
Yeah.
It's like his character. I think and winning the Champions League with Porto was pretty impressive as well.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
and Inter Milan, like,
exactly.
He's got a more impressive career, but in terms of overall man, like right now, who would you take in your club? You'd take Guardiola any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I think that says quite a lot, you know.
I got another United question. It's about, well, these are the three: Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, David Moyes, or Louis van Gaal. Out of interest, I wanted to know what you would say as a United fan.
Hard question, because I don't think Moyes was given enough time. So whatever answer I give is probably unfair on him, because 9 months wasn't enough time to step in the shoes of someone like Sir Alex Ferguson. But I'd put Solskjaer at the top, because I think Solskjaer's performed. Obviously, you've got great nights like beating PSG 3-1. No one's going to forget that. But I think he got us Champions League last year. We finished third, which was a very good result with not a great team. Bruno was a great acquisition. He's been phenomenal. And you look at boys like Rashford and Greenwood, who he's bringing through and helping develop into good attacking players. I think we're heading in the right direction. And he's the only manager I can say since Ferguson that I've been all for in terms of the direction we're heading in. You know, football's there, exciting playing, exciting to watch them play. Signings have all been decent. Yeah, Solskjaer's got to be there. And second, I'd rank Moyes and Van Gaal the same, because I think Van Gaal did nothing for United and Moyes did nothing for United.
Yeah, but I thought you'd say Van Gaal because he won a trophy, didn't he?
He won the FA Cup, but he ran the club into the ground. The way he treated Van Persie, even Rooney, I think he did a lot more damage than Moyes did in his 2 years, Van Gaal. And the fact that they still sacked him after he won the FA Cup showed that they wanted him out. I don't like his management style. I didn't like his football. And if you ask me right now, do you want Van Gaal back or Moyes? I'd take Moyes. But in terms of their career at United, I'd probably put them about the same.
Fair. The next one is cricket, golf, or tennis. You know cricket, which one has to be first.
Cricket, golf, or tennis? Yeah, I put tennis up top. Played tennis for a while. Had the pleasure of playing with you a few times, Caleb. Beating you as well. No, yeah, I'd put tennis, cricket, and then golf. Quite a straightforward one for me, I'd say. I've been enjoying getting into my cricket recently, watching the Australian Big Bash League. So all the interns in the house, there's 8 teams, and we all picked one team, and followed them right the way through the tournament. It was brilliant because the cricket was on early in the morning, so I woke up to watching a bit of cricket, and we really got into that. So yeah, I'd say, and I've never got into golf, so I'd have to put that third.
It's weird because I would usually put cricket at the bottom, but then I started to think that in school we used to play like quick cricket and cricket all the time in PE.
Yeah,
it was actually really fun. So I know how fun cricket can be, but it's just long though. The professional one just takes days. How can a sport take days? But then again, I always thought the golf takes up way too much space. Like literally, I live by the Celtic Manor, and I just think, why does the sport need to take so much space? I feel like it's a waste of space in a way. So I don't really. But then again, you got moments like Tiger Woods winning the Masters in 2019 and all that emotional side of it, which is brilliant. I'll probably put golf last just because I've played cricket and it was fun.
So we agree.
Huh?
So we agree on this one. There we go. Look at that.
After 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, it's taken 3 years, but we've finally been able to agree on something.
I know.
You got any more? You got any more? I'm enjoying these.
Yeah, I got 2 more of these 3, and then I think we go down to 2.
All right, here we go.
Text message, phone call, or voice note.
Oh, text message at the bottom.
Okay.
Third. I enjoy receiving a voice note. I'm a big fan. I think voice note is like Marmite. You either really appreciate it or you don't understand the point of it at all. I think it's very, but I like it, and I think there's no kind of breakdown in communication when you get a voice note. You can clearly understand what someone's saying and thinking and the tone and everything. Text message, sometimes it's harder and it's less exciting. So yeah, it just depends on the situation. Phone call or voice note, it depends how long you need to chat to them. But yeah, I'd rank voice note and call at the same and put text message below.
Phone calls are often just too unexpected and out of nowhere, and it probably.
Are you talking about an out of the blue phone call?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
So they're not planned.
Yeah, not planned.
Let's say we're saying if I needed to talk to you about recording another podcast, let's say, the question is call, text, or voice note.
Yeah.
You see, I probably would text you, but I like a voice note. So in that situation, I'd put probably, text first, and then.
I mean, like when you put it like that, I thought you were gonna say, would I like to receive a phone call out of the blue? But probably not, because I probably wouldn't be in the situation to answer the phone call. So that's why I put phone call last. But
I agree.
I do enjoy listening or receiving a voice note. I wouldn't send a voice note myself, but I do enjoy receiving one because I'm more of I usually text, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a few different ways you could go with that question, because I definitely send voice notes at least 100%, and I don't call people out of the blue very often. But in terms of just what I enjoy in terms of communication, I just much prefer actually talking to someone. So that's why voice note and call would be up there. But in terms of just the easiness of chatting and communication, yeah, I'd agree with you.
But I'm almost running out of time on the Zoom thing, so I think we got like 10 minutes. I'll try and speed through these ones. These are
mate,
2.
I'm giving long answers.
Yeah. All right. So Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Okay. Rugby or NFL?
Rugby.
Good try. I agree. Boxing or UFC?
Boxing.
Okay. Yeah. Taking a bath or having a shower?
Bath. Any day of the week. Despite how much it annoys my housemates, bath.
Nah, that takes the longest. Why would you? I don't know why people have baths, bro.
Mate, I tell you what, it's so relaxing. It's a hidden gem you need to uncover, honestly.
Nah, I always feel like that clean, that like bathing yourself a bit has to be relatively quick, so you can just get on with the other things you have to do. I can't just sit there.
It depends what mindset you're in. If you want to wake up and just crack on with your day and you've got work or lecture, then you have a shower. But what do you enjoy more? Bath, any day of the week.
Nah, I can't remember the last time I took a bath, to be honest. It just takes too long.
Oh, nice.
It's long. I got nothing else to talk about. Is there anything you wanted to ask? This is like a catch up almost.
Yeah. Mate, what's the plan? What's the plan for the show going forward?
For the show. I think I could be able to do more of these. It's just a dissertation right now. It's just there.
How's it going? You enjoying it?
Well, this dissertation. Am I enjoying it? I can't say I'm enjoying it, but I'm powering through it, I think. I've done quite a bit already. I collected my data, all that stuff. I just need to analyze it. So it's going well. It's going well, I think.
I heard you did primary research. Is that right?
Yeah.
Good man.
And I contacted footballers. I sent a message to Allison, seeing if he would reply, but he didn't.
Oh, did you, I can't pick well-known Christian footballers. Did you send a message to? Yeah, nice.
Junior Stanislas.
Sorry?
Sent one to Junior Stanislas, but he didn't reply. So,
yeah. Mate, you should have sent one to me. I'm a pretty elite level footballer.
I don't know. Are you sure about that?
So I'm a glorified right back.
What about the plan for Tenn FM or Tennis for Millennials? I don't know. I like interviewing people. I like talking to people. So I could anyone to talk to. Honestly, it doesn't have to be tennis related or sport related. Just a chat whenever you're free, mate. You can come back on anytime. You kick-started this whole thing.
Mate, you kick-started this whole thing, and I just ran with it with you. But I'm always up for a chat. And if you can get some more of those questions, the Golf Wales Madrid, I'm all keen for it.
Okay. I got it written down here on my script. Let me big up Lewis a second. Well, I'm gonna take a second to big you up.
Go on, mate.
Since first year, I can remember when I first turned up at uni. Apart from your course mates you meet and stuff like that, you get along with. In my flat, I don't know. There were certain things I just didn't want to do. All this clubbing stuff. So it was hard to try and find friends to hang around with. And then I came across the CU. I gave my email in, and then we met one day at James Bigham's place.
Big up James Bigham.
Yeah.
What a boy.
And then I met you at the door, I think. And then ever since then, I don't know. It made me feel so welcoming. Welcomed me into the UCFB community, because UCFB is not a big uni, is it? So our CU wasn't that big, so we're very tight knit. And I think it helped me a lot, I think, as well, to settle into the place. And the good thing we're still, in contact now. And are you still the football student, or have I taken up that role?
Mate, you know what? Student. You can have you're talking about the Instagram page.
Yeah.
Mate, you can have the Instagram page. I'm no longer a football student, so I can't have that title anymore. But yeah, it was fun while that lasted, running that page. But yeah,
I'm the heir to the page, am I?
Oh yeah, it's the page. But mate, you're in third year now, so you only got a few more months to live out the dream.
Oh yeah, true. Anyway, Lou, thank you very much for coming on. I'd like to do this again. It was quite enjoyable. It was very enjoyable.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's it for Tenn FM. Make sure you guys watching, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. And hopefully if I can be more consistent with this and post more, because usually I did post 10 FMs, but the more I watched them, I was like, nah, take it down. But I think your one's the only one that stayed up on the channel, to be fair to you.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's basically I'm just as much as co-founder / runner as you are, because it's just me and you.
I guess so. Could be, bro.
No, mate. It's a pleasure to be back. Yeah, I'm hoping to see more content. So whether you want to have a chat again or get some more people in, maybe even interview James Bingham, the man who started up the CU himself.
Yeah. Oh, that would
get him on the show. He's working editing videos for the Premier League now, so you could ask him stuff about that. It could be some good content.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair play to him. Anyway, thank you very much, Lou.
Thank you, mate.
Guys, want to see you guys.